So there is now an animated film in China that's becoming more and more popular these days, and it's actually one of the highest grossing films. It's called Niu Lai, which translates into something like "Here Comes the Cow" or "The Cow is Coming." It's an animated film, but it's not a kids movie because it's actually so badly made that it's difficult to follow the plot. And people just love it. And as a matter of fact, one commentator wrote, if you watch the movie, you're going to regret it for 80 minutes. But if you don't watch the movie, then you're going to regret it for your whole life. So I was curious and I watched the movie myself. And I have to tell you, I don't know how I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because it cannot really be compared to anything else, and it tells us, however, something quite important about the current times that we are in right now, and I need to explain this as well. So first of all, a little bit the background. It's an animated movie. It's over 80 minutes long, almost 1.5 hours long. It's got some English subtitles. This is how I watched it, and it's made by two people. Honestly, two people, a son and a mother, and his mother. And over the course of 5 years, it was released in Chinese cinemas and was not very popular in the first week. But then all of a sudden, some people started posting about it online, and then it really exploded. It grew exponentially, and now I don't know, it already earned millions. People go to the cinema, they're laughing at the movie because it's so badly made, so amateurish. And indeed, the people who made it, they were not trained filmmakers. It was actually what I would say almost a passion project of mother and son. And it's now one of the most popular movies in China. And to the extent that actually some people are a little bit worried about that, because how can it be that a movie that essentially cost almost nothing to make is now actually outperforming other movies that cost millions to make? As a matter of fact, there was no marketing done. There were not even any posters for the movie. So some owners, they actually made their own posters, on a sheet of paper, and to announce the movie. And then people just started to watch the movie, and they had a good time laughing at the movie because it was so badly made. But then there are, of course, a couple of more thoughtful voices as well. So how can it be that basically these days a movie like this actually is able to outperform other much more expensive productions, which are made much better? And I think that's exactly the point. I think people got so tired of this highly over-processed, over-engineered, I don't know, manufactured AI, computer graphics, fast explosions and speed, and I don't know, movies that people get tired of this. And all of a sudden, you're going to the cinema and you're watching a movie that is extremely slow paced. I watched it honestly. I played the movie at twice the speed and it was still slow. Yeah, extremely imperfect. However, done with a lot of passion. I mean, you actually feel that, it's not perfect, definitely not, but this makes it so extremely human. So some people actually consider this an artwork because of this strong human nature that kind of becomes evident. The imperfections kind of make it so human. As a matter of fact, the film does have a story. Indeed, I would say not even such a bad one. However, the story is difficult to follow because not only because the dialogue is kind of a little bit not clear all the time, and because the subtitles, so it's not always clear what's happening, and important scenes are kind of very short, and other scenes that are not so important are very long. So there is this kind of mismatch, but generally there is a story behind it. So I'm just waiting for Disney or some other huge corporation to buy up the rights, and then they're gonna make their own proper animated movie out of that, which nobody's gonna watch because it looks fake, I claim. But in any case, I think the thing that it kind of shows about current society is that we've been sometimes we always want to make the most perfect things. When we write essays or students write essays, they think it's got to be perfect. That's why let's use ChatGPT to polish it up. AI, then AI art, everything's got to be polished up and improved using AI because AI is already better than what we are, and we want to kind of show the most perfect product. But this takes a lot of the soul away, right? I mean, I'm a teacher and I have to read essays from students, and I know that I just read this and I say, man, these are not your ideas, you know. These are not your ideas. Yeah, but it reads nicely. The text reads better than ever before. Yeah, because of course they many of them kind of want to use AI to improve their own ideas, you know. But even that, no, I want to read imperfect text. I want to know your take on the whole situation, not some kind of, I don't know, yeah, artificial, prefabricated whatever, you know. And so this basically means that people indeed have, including I myself, have become tired of this hyper polished, over polished, fast, rapid, I don't know, yeah, computer CGI graphics, whatever, you know. All of a sudden, you're presented with a movie that's the complete antithesis. Yeah. I mean, one doesn't have to go overly philosophical about this. Some people compared this movie with Dadaistic art, which is known as anti-art. I wouldn't get carried away that far, but indeed, by watching the movie, you actually see, wow, the people were actually going to their own limits in trying to make a movie, and kind of got stuck with with the computer graphics tools and everything. Yeah, and they just couldn't make it better, right? Because they were not trained animators and they didn't have the software, you know. So, but in that sense, this movie is indeed refreshingly honest. Yeah, and I think this is something that people are kind of missing these days. It's this honesty in a world which is very, I almost wanted to say plastic. Yeah, artificial and plastic. Yeah, we want to see the wood, the coarseness of the wood, the rough wood, and not everything has to be shiny plastic. You know, we want to have the real stuff, and that is, I think, one of the reasons why the success of this movie is so important, because it sends a strong message, right? It sends the message that no, we don't want perfect stuff. We want to have authentic stuff. Yeah, and that's I think why this movie, I think, is successful and is good. Okay, goodness does not always mean technical perfection. A movie that's good and great actually moves something in people, and this movie, yeah, evidently really moved something in many people. Yeah, be it that they had a nice evening laughing together at the bad animations, or indeed sending a message that no, we want to have the human stuff, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that is a very important message, and for this reason, I think that if you get a possibility, you should also watch that movie. I wish you a nice day. All the best.